All right. I know you're probably coming to today's webinar with a little bit of anxiety and frustration. I know you depend a lot on Facebook to promote your business, and so you're probably a little anxious about what these changes could mean for your business. Over the past several months, you've probably seen your reach on Facebook dwindle, and with this new change that Facebook is enacting for January, that reach unfortunately is going to continue to decline. But the good news is you can do something about it. There are things that you can do to really leverage Facebook and start making Facebook work for you. And I'm going to show you how to do that in today's webinar after we talk about exactly what the changes are and what they mean for your business. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Samantha English, and I'm the founder of Retail Marketing Academy. And I love giving free webinars like this to retailers because you guys face a lot of obstacles that other business owners don't face. You know, you wear a lot of hats. You are, you're the manager, you're the customer service person, human resources. Sometimes you probably have to be the cleanup crew and the handyman. You know, you wear a lot of hats, and unfortunately, Marketing Guru isn't one that you probably have a lot of time to don every week. So, and I know cash flow is always a concern for retailers. When I talk to my clients, cash flow is probably the primary concern that they have in their business. And I know because of that, you don't have a budget to test. You know, a lot of small businesses, mine included, we have a budget that we can, learn about and research new trends and then start implementing strategies and see what works for our business at that given time. And as a small business owner, you don't have that luxury. And I know because you wear so many hats and you don't have enough time, you don't have time to monitor trends and changes in marketing because you're focused on trends for your inventory, you're focused on your customers, and you're focused on your employees and just the operational side of your business. And honestly, entrepreneurs like you really inspire me. You're active in your communities and you've built your businesses on relationship marketing. And I'm a huge advocate of relationship marketing. I implement and I use relationship marketing in my business, and I encourage my clients to do the same. My marketing career actually started 10 years ago in the corporate world. And about 5 years ago, I decided to leave corporate America and open my own marketing firm. It was a risky move to give up, my nice salary and my stable income and all of that and my benefits, but I knew it's what I had to do because I didn't want to continue working 60-plus hours a week building someone else's vision. I wanted to help people and really make a difference in people's lives, and so I founded my marketing company on this principle, and I just want to share it with you quickly. My mission is to ensure my clients gain more from working with me than they have to give up in order to do business with me. Now, when I started my marketing firm, I got back into the habit of working with larger clients with huge marketing budgets, but it just didn't feel right. And you know when you get that feeling that you're just not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're just not in the right place? So last year, I took a look at myself and I did some reflection, and I said, the clients I enjoy working with the most are my retail clients, and that's because probably prior to graduating from college, I spent 5 years managing retail stores. I managed a local gift shop and an embroidery shop. So retail has always been where my heart was, and so that's why I enjoyed working with my retail clients. So last year I narrowed my focus, and now I'm just working with retailers. And the reason I love working with you is because you haven't forgotten where you came from. You know that your customers are why you're in business, and you're active in your communities, and you support the organizations within your communities. And whether you have it up on your wall like I do or not, you believe in my mission. You want your customers to get more from working with you, from shopping with you, than they have to give up in order to do business with you. And that's why you focus on customer service, and that's why you make sure everyone that walks through your door gets really good quality products and in really good prices. You understand the what your target market is going through, and they're cost conscious, and you want to be able to provide them with really great products that fit their budget. So this, working with retailers like you, it really just feels right. Our missions are aligned, and I get to bring to the table 10 years of marketing experience and a lot of retail experience to help you spend less time and money on your marketing. And that's why you're really here today, right? Everybody, all retailers, all business owners, we all want to spend less time and money on the parts of our business that we don't necessarily enjoy. And for a lot of retailers, marketing is just not something that you feel like you're good at, not something that you enjoy. So I love being able to work with you and let you know that there are better ways to spend your time and money on your marketing. And I know today you're coming here and you're a little anxious because Facebook plays a big role in your marketing efforts. And I've talked to, a couple of retailers just this morning that have said, I used to depend so much on Facebook, and I hear this all the time. I would post something on Facebook last year, and I would get, 20 comments of people that wanted to buy it, and now 20 people don't even see my post. So it's incredibly frustrating, and I understand that. And I know that you're hearing, well, Facebook is changing the rules, and it's continuing to make it more difficult for you to reach your target audience. But the good news is, now you can start leveraging Facebook. You can start making Facebook work from you instead of having to be reactive and kind of play by Facebook's rules. Now you can really start leveraging Facebook and being a smarter business owner when you have a strategy in place that allows you to build relationships with your customers on social media. And I know you depend a lot on Facebook as a cost-effective way to promote your products and your business. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. And the good news is, while this upcoming change that we're going to talk about is going to impact your business in a major way, now you get the opportunity to be a smarter retailer. Odds are your competitors aren't even aware of this upcoming change, and they sure haven't invested their time in attending a training session like this to prepare for the changes that are coming. So I know your time's valuable, and we only have an hour together, so I want to go ahead and dive in to our 3 topics today. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Facebook's upcoming rule change, and this has kind of been in motion for the last several months. So we're going to talk about the rule change, what it means for your business, and then we're going to talk about whether it's time to abandon ship or weather the storm. And I'm also going to introduce you to a few of my clients that have really taken the reins and are leveraging Facebook, and they're making Facebook work for their businesses. And these strategies that they're implementing comply with Facebook's rules, but they also allow them to establish relationships with consumers and build their businesses, increase the number of new customers coming into their store and thereby increasing their sales because they're being smart about how they're using Facebook. So let's go ahead and dive into this rule change. So Facebook's constantly working to improve user experience, and the company recently surveyed its users, and here's what they found. And this is a direct quote from Facebook. As a part of an ongoing survey, we asked hundreds of thousands of people how they feel about the content in their news feeds. People told us they wanted to see more stories from friends and pages they care about and less promotional content. So the typical Facebook user like you and I, we could see around 1,500 posts in our news feeds every single day. Now, Facebook narrows that down to around 300 stories it thinks you and I are going to be most interested in. It knows that we can't possibly comprehend 1,500 stories, so it narrows it down for us to 300 that it thinks we're going to be most interested in. So as a result of this recent survey, Facebook believes that users don't want to see as much of our business promotional content in their news feeds. So what Facebook is doing now is saying that if you're posting promotional content on your business page, and these are called organic posts. So if your organic posts, the ones that you're not paying for, are promotional in nature, Facebook's not going to distribute those into your followers' news feeds. So let me say that again because I always get a question to clarify that. So when you post on your business timeline, just a regular post, if it's promotional, if Facebook determines that that post is promotional in nature, it's not going to distribute that into users' news feeds. Now, if you're posting promotional content, I get a lot of people that come to my webinars and they say, well, I heard if I was posting promotional content, Facebook's going to shut my page down. That's not Facebook's intention. It's not going to shut your page down if you're posting promotional content. What Facebook is going to do is just not allow those promotional posts to show up in the newsfeed. And Todd's asking, okay, so how does Facebook determine if the post is promotional? I'm glad you asked, Todd. There are 3 criteria that Facebook uses to determine if your post is promotional in nature. The first one is posts that are created for the sole purpose of pushing people to buy a product or service or come into your business. And as business owners, I mean, that's what we all do, right? I mean, we're trying to get people aware of what we have and to get them motivated to come into our stores or to buy our products or services. So if Facebook looks at your post and it sees that the sole purpose of the post is to push someone to buy your product or to come into your store, they're going to say, okay, that's promotional in nature, and they're not going to distribute it in the news feed. The second criteria, and this is the one that gets everyone, and chat over to me if you're doing this, and I know most of you probably are because all of my retail clients are doing this. Those posts that push people to enter promotions, contests, or giveaways. So how many of you do the posts, some people even do it weekly, a weekly giveaway, and you say like, share, or comment to enter to win a $100 gift card or a specific item. Who does that? I'm sure a lot of you do. A lot of my retail clients do, and in the past that's been okay. It was a good way for you to spread your reach and to get people sharing your content so that you could acquire more likes on Facebook and that sort of thing. But now Facebook's saying, okay, we know that that type of content is promotional in nature, so again, we're not distributing that into the news feed. So, and you don't have to give up and you don't have to not do contests and giveaways anymore. I'm just going to show you how to do those in a way that complies with Facebook's new rule, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. Now, this third criteria is not one that affects a lot of my retail clients. If you're creating ads in Facebook's Ad Manager, you can't copy and paste that content and those images onto your timeline and get distribution into the newsfeed. If you set it up as an ad, Facebook's only going to distribute it as an ad. It's not going to let you get any organic or unpaid reach from that post. So those are the three criteria that Facebook's going to use to decide whether or not your post is promotional in nature. Now, the next question I always get is, well, how's Facebook going to know if my post is promotional in nature? I mean, the little Facebook elves aren't manually reviewing every single post that all of the millions of business pages are posting every day. So how do they know? Well, Facebook releases very little info about how it's going to police posts, but most analysts agree, and what the little information Facebook has released about this indicates that certain words are going to be flagged, and they're going to be those call to action words. Click here, shop now, stop by. So anything that's getting the consumer to make an action, any call to action is going to be flagged, and Facebook's going to know, okay, that post is promotional in nature, and again, we're not distributing it into the newsfeed. Other keywords to watch would be like, share, or comment to enter to win. Again, that Facebook's going to know that that's a promotional post that you're using to get people to enter your promotions and giveaways and that sort of thing. So those are the three criteria you need to be watching for. And again, Facebook's just going to be flagging certain words to be able to monitor and see whether or not your posts are promotional in nature. So what does this mean for your business? Well, Facebook's made it clear that businesses that choose to continue to post overly promotional content, and this is a quote from them, businesses that choose to continue to post overly promotional content on their timelines should expect their organic distribution to fall significantly over time. So again, Facebook's not going to close your business page down. I mean, we're all in the habit, right, as business owners of getting people to do things. I mean, we love posting our new arrivals. We love our products, and we're excited. We want people to see them and to come in and buy them. Obviously, we all are in business to make money. So if you once in a while accidentally include some call to action words in your post, again, Facebook's not going to close your page down. That's not their intention. All they're going to do is not allow that promotional content to show up in the newsfeed. But if you're consistently, multiple times a day, every single day of the week, posting overly promotional content on your timeline, Facebook's just overall going to flag your account and say, okay, they're constantly posting promotional content, so we're just not going to allow anything that they're posting to show in the newsfeed. So again, what Facebook says is businesses that choose to continue to post overly promotional content on their timelines should expect their organic distribution to fall significantly over time and eventually reach zero. So you just have to be careful and just develop a new habit of avoiding those call to action words and shifting your mindset. So, our mindset has been on Facebook, sell, sell, sell. Can't even count how many of my retail clients have posted things in the past, a new arrival, and they give the information on it and people are posting, okay, I'll take that. I need a size large. I'll stop by after work. I talked to a retailer this morning that said, yeah, we used to get people, we would post something and, they could call the store to put it on hold until they could get there. And that's just not, that's not going to be something that Facebook is going to allow you to do. So instead of your mindset being that Facebook is a good outlet for me to sell, you have to think of Facebook as a good way for you to quickly build relationships with people and then quickly get them into your store. So again, we're just shifting our mindset now. It doesn't mean that Facebook can't be a hugely profitable platform for you, it still can be. You've just got to change the way that you're using it to comply with the rules. And honestly, I mean, people are probably going to respond better to you building a relationship with them, and that's how you get loyal customers, right? You build that relationship and you get them coming into your store consistently, and then they go spread the word about you through word of mouth, and there's nothing more valuable than word of mouth marketing. So again, we're just shifting our mindset now. And we can't just abandon Facebook. You know, we talked about, is it time to abandon ship or weather the storm? Gannett, the research firm, in October 2014 released a survey that it surveyed thousands of Facebook users, and the findings are hugely important to you as a brick and mortar retailer. There's no other survey that could have asked more pertinent questions that we need to know for you as a retailer. So let me share some of those statistics. And if you printed out your action guide, there are some blanks there for you to fill in these numbers. So 70% of new retail customers hear about your business first on Facebook. So 70% of the folks that enter your store for the first time, they've heard about you from Facebook. 60% of consumers say that they visit your store's Facebook page before deciding to come to your brick and mortar location. And the number one reason consumers are visiting your Facebook page is to check out your reviews, ratings, and product information. So, I mean, how many times do you do this? You go out of town and you want to check out a place before you go see it. You often, or I do at least, and my husband and I, when we go out of town, we look at them on Facebook. We're checking out, their reviews. We're looking at what they have to offer before we decide to actually go in. 80% of consumers say they're more inclined to purchase from your small business if they see positive reviews and ratings, and that's kind of obvious. But this last statistic is one that just really stands out and is really, really important to your business. So 62% of consumers say that Facebook is the most important and useful social media channel to research products and services before visiting a small local business. So I'm going to say that again. 62% of consumers say that Facebook is the most important and useful social media channel to research products and services before visiting your small local business. So consumers are used to hearing about you on Facebook, and they are using Facebook to kind of analyze you and check you out before they decide to come to your brick and mortar location. So we have to realize, now we can't ignore Facebook. We can't abandon ship. We just have to play by the rules. And again, shift that mindset from sell to build a relationship on Facebook so that we can get people to come into your store. And doing that doesn't have to be tricky. I mean, this is not, Facebook has been pretty transparent about what the rules are and what you need to avoid. So you've just got to watch those call to action words. Like instead of a post that says something like, check out these fantastic new arrivals, call the store, or click here to order, you can say, fantastic new arrivals just in, now available, and we're excited to share them with you. So you're taking the action away from something the consumer, the Facebook user, needs to do, and you're pushing it on you. Instead of saying, click here or call the store to order, you're saying, I want to share these new arrivals with you. So, and honestly, Facebook users may actually respond to the new type of wording and relationship building a lot more positively anyway, so this doesn't have to be bad. So, Facebook is dedicated to users and the user experience, but Facebook is also dedicated to business pages. I mean, you're the lifeblood of Facebook, and Facebook knows that. So in helping you to shift that mindset and to build relationships, Facebook is releasing 4 new features, and a lot of my retailers already have some of these new features on their business pages. So the first new feature is a call to action button on the cover photo. So give me a shout out if you already have this call to action button on your cover photo. If you're not sure if you have it, when you log into Facebook on your desktop, it doesn't show up on mobile, but when you log in on the desktop, you'll see a button right here where it says sign up. You'll see a button that says create call to action. So if you don't already have it, you should be getting it anytime. Facebook's rolling it out to business pages in the United States first, and then it'll go to Canada, and then it's going to spread out. So does anybody have the call to action button yet on their Facebook business page? Dollar Shave Club was actually the first business page that Facebook allowed to test out the button. So Jimmy's saying, yes, we've got it. So what Facebook does with these new features is they allow big business pages with lots and lots of fans to test them out, and then they work out all the bugs, and then they start to release it slowly to the rest of the business pages. So Amy's saying, no, we don't have it yet, but a few people are saying, yeah, they've got it. So the options that you can choose from for this call to action button for you as a retailer, the most significant would be shop now or sign up or contact us. If you owned a service-based business, you could choose book now. Or another one that I'm really hoping a lot of retailers take advantage of is the watch video button. And again, it's just going to show up right here. So if you have a great video that introduces yourself and your staff, that sort of thing, and gives people a feel of the vibe of your store, that's going to be a really good way, again, for people to get to know about your business so they can decide, oh, yeah, that looks like a really cool place. They look like really nice people. Yeah, I want to go in and visit. So, again, that's allowing you to build a relationship with people. You know, people are coming to check you out on Facebook. Why not use that feature to allow them to get to know you a little bit better so they can make the decision to go ahead and show up? So I always get this question, you know, can we use more than one? Say I want them to shop now, but I also want them to sign up for my email list. You can't use two buttons at the same time, but you can change out the button at any time. So say this week you want to build your email list, you can use sign up, and then say next week you have a great video you want to share, you can switch over and use the watch video button. So it's a really cool new feature. If you don't have it yet, you should be getting it any day now. The next one is organic post targeting, and for you as consignment stores, I think that this is going to be huge for you because it allows you to be more relevant to your audience. So how many, you know, I follow a lot of business pages obviously on Facebook, and if I am scrolling through and I see a business that never seems to be posting something that is of interest to me, it's not relevant to me in my life, you know, I keep scrolling because I think, why do I, you know, they are always posting stuff and it's never relevant to me. So I always scroll and I think, man, I should unlike that page, but I never do. But you don't want to be that business to your following. You know, you want to always be posting really relevant content for the people that are following you on Facebook, so that when you see a post, you know, pop up in your news feed, you actually can. They're going to know that it's relevant to them, so they're going to give it a second look. So the organic post targeting is hugely important to you. So what you could do, say you get a new arrival that is an article of plus size clothing. You could say, okay, I want to post this new arrival, but it's only going to be relevant for my people that wear plus size clothing. So you could target only those people that are following you that like, you know, brands like Lane Bryant. Or if you get a new really fantastic, you know, young women's apparel, you could target people that like Forever 21. Again, and the goal of this is just for people to start to know, okay, they are always posting things that are relevant to me, and so they're going to be more likely to look and see what you're posting. As your reach continues to dwindle, I mean, I know you might have, you know, 2,000 people liking your page, and every time you post, you know, very few people are actually able to see what you're posting. So every opportunity you get, you want to make sure that you're relevant to people so they take a second look and they start to trust, you know, what you're posting is going to be relevant to them. So the organic post targeting, I think, is going to be really great for your business. Does anyone have this yet? I've had a few people on my webinars that have had this new feature, but not a whole lot have this yet. Does anybody on the call today have it? Not seeing anyone saying that they've got it yet. Nope, it doesn't look like anyone's got that just yet, but it's coming. Again, it's going to be released in the United States first, then go to Canada, and then worldwide. So Mark says yes, they've got it. So again, a really cool new feature. So Tracy said they don't have it, so it'll be coming to you soon. The next new feature for Facebook is probably the one that I'm most excited about for you as a retailer, and that's a post end date. So how many times have you posted, you know, something on your timeline about a weekend sale or something, and people see it on Monday and they say, well, crap, if I would have known, you know, I would have come in and shopped with you. Well, now you don't have that problem anymore. Now you can tell Facebook, okay, I want to go ahead and post this today, but I want it to end on, you know, I close Saturday at 4 or whatever time it is. That's what time. I don't want it to show in the newsfeed past that time. So the benefit of that for the consumer is they're not seeing things after the fact, so they don't have to get frustrated. They definitely will only see it in the time frame that you allocate. And the other thing is Facebook's going to know that it only has a short window of time to get your post into the newsfeed, so it's going to prioritize it. So you're going to see a little better reach with some of those posts that you have a set end date. Now, I don't have Pat's saying he has this one for creating an event. Are you talking about the post end date, Pat, that you have that for creating an event? But not very many of my retailers have this yet, so it's one that's taking a little bit longer to get spread out to business pages. So the next feature a lot of businesses already have, some don't, but it's the new video interface. So video is becoming increasingly important in marketing, obviously, and again, it just helps you build that relationship. So Facebook's introducing a new video interface where you can choose a feature video. So again, this would be a fantastic place if you've got, an introduction to yourself and your staff, or some, just the layout of your store, that sort of thing, to again build that relationship, get people to get familiar with you and what you offer. So the video interface is really cool, and then you can prioritize your videos. So I had not a lot of my retailers have this new interface yet, but the ones that do say when the feature became available to them, they got a little pop-up when they logged into their business page, and it said, it asked them to organize their videos. So that's where you'll be able to, again, just organize all of your videos, create a playlist. Now, this is only for videos that you've uploaded to Facebook. So if you're just usually posting links to YouTube, you're not going to be able to incorporate them into the new video tab. But if you're uploading those videos to Facebook, you're definitely going to be able to pull those into this new tab and prioritize and organize them. So it's a really nice looking video tab, and the retailers that I've talked to that do have this, they love it. They say, it's really great, and we're getting a lot of interaction on it. So be looking for that. Be looking for that pop-up that asks you to organize your videos. So the next question is, okay, these features are great. The changes aren't so great. The changes for my reach, they're not so great. But how can I really start to leverage Facebook? I mean, over the past several months, my reach has continued to dwindle. In October 2013, business pages reached about 20% of the people that liked them. So if you posted something on Facebook, you could be pretty confident that at least 20% of the people that have liked your page were going to be able to see it. Then in April 2014, Facebook changed its algorithm, and only 1.6 to 2% of the people that have liked your page were able to see what you were posting. So, reach crashed, and that's probably when a lot of you started to say, okay, this Facebook's not working for me like it used to. I'm not able to reach hardly anyone that's following me. So, and then over the past several months, the reach has continued to dwindle. So even though this is a rule change that Facebook has announced is going into effect in January, I mean, if we're being completely honest, we've seen our reach steadily decline over the past several months. Unless you're boosting a post, you're not seeing much activity on your posts. So it's time to really start having a more strategic approach to Facebook. And it's obvious that, business pages are not going to be able to promote their products and services or your website on your business timeline anymore and get any reach. I mean, it's just not going to be effective. But you can still leverage Facebook, and you can still make Facebook work for your business. And I work with, literally hundreds of retailers, and I find it really concerning because when I start working with a new client and I look at their Facebook page and I log in and I see what they've been doing, what I always find is that they are setting up campaigns to acquire likes and to boost posts. And those are really the only two things that they're spending money on Facebook. Well, now we know, it's great if you have a large following, a lot of likes on Facebook, but you're not able to reach hardly any of those folks anymore, right? So we've got to have a different approach to getting our message out on Facebook, to get people into our stores, to see what we've got to offer, and build that relationship. So, a lot of my clients are spending $5 a day to boost posts. You can spend your money so much more effectively. If you're going to spend $150 a month on Facebook, I would much rather you spend it in a strategic manner and really get your money's worth and really make sure the ROI is there. And the key to that is to marketing your business where you can find your consumers. And we already know from the Gannett survey that your consumers want to hear about you on Facebook. That's where they're looking for you. That's where they're used to finding you. They're not looking to Instagram or Pinterest. They're in the habit of using Facebook to research your products and hearing about new businesses. So Facebook is where it's at for you as a retailer. But it's important that you have the right sales flow in place. And again, that you're shifting your mindset from sell, sell, sell to building a relationship. So it's really important to have the right sales flow in place. So how much time, and you're already doing this in your store, right? So how much time do you spend on like your windows? What people see when they first, look at your business. You spend a lot of time on that. You also spend a lot of time on, how things are laid out in your store. You probably know there are places where things sell better than other places, and you spend a lot of time training yourself and your sales staff on how to make people feel welcome and how to, increase that average transaction value, how to get those add-on purchases and that sort of thing. You've already got a sales flow down pat in your store. You just have to translate that to your marketing strategy. And to do that, you have to have this targeted back-end strategy, again, where you're nurturing prospective customers. You're already nurturing them in your store. You've got to nurture them through the sales process with your marketing strategy as well. So, just posting an ad on Facebook and kind of leaving people hanging is the equivalent of, having a really gorgeous entrance to your store, but then not greeting people and not helping them when they come into your store. You would never do that, right? You would never allow any of your staff to do that either. You want people to come in and feel welcome and feel like they're wanted and feel like they fit in. So it's important that your marketing strategy nurtures those prospective customers through that sales process. And Facebook's really the #1 way for you to do that. So I'm going to show you some techniques that fall right into relationship marketing that allow you to spend not very much money, but nurture prospective customers, build a relationship, and get people shopping in your store. And, the great thing about this is that your business is all about building relationships, so your marketing strategy should reflect that, because relationship marketing is really the key to marketing on Facebook, because at this point, at this juncture with our relationship with Facebook, if you want to make money and if you want to increase the number of new customers into your store, you've really got to be building a relationship with your Facebook strategy. So, and the beauty of this 5-step strategy I'm about to share with you is that it's 100% automated. It automates all of your marketing efforts, and every new customer that hears about you on Facebook and opts in and works through this strategy, they're going to have the exact same experience with you. They're going to get individualized attention and feel like they're nurtured, so that when they come into your store for the first time, they're ready to buy. You're not going to get people coming in saying, "Oh, I'm just looking today, thanks though." You're going to get people in your store shopping and buying, because you've got this really targeted back-end strategy in place. So I'm going to go over quickly the 5-step strategy, and then we'll dive into each step. So the 5-step strategy, the goal of this is to be able to follow up with people, so that no matter what changes Facebook enacts, no matter what changes Google puts into play, we want to be able, if you're paying to get in front of customers, if you're paying for your message to be put out there, you want to be able to contact, to get it back in touch with these people at any time that you want to promote your, your in-store specials or your events, that sort of thing. And again, just for the new customers, to nurture them and get them into your store for the first time. So in order to do that, we have to identify something we can offer of value that will motivate people to give us their email address. And after we identify our offer, then we've got to go out and find our audience. We already know they're on Facebook, so we've just got to laser target them. No more just peppering our communities with a message. We want to laser target people with the means and motivation to buy from you. Then we've got to create high-impact ads. This is where a lot of people lose their money. They're targeting the wrong people on Facebook, and they're not creating ads that get a high click-through rate. So you've got to create ads that garner a lot of attention. Step 4 is to gather email addresses. So again, no matter what changes Facebook puts into play, no matter what changes Google or any other third party puts into play, we want to be able to get back in touch with the people we've paid to get our message in front of. And so we've got to gather that email address, so we can do step 5, which is really the key to this whole strategy. That's the follow-up. That's where we nurture those prospective customers and get them to shop with us for the first time. So that's the whole plan. The whole strategy hinges on that step 5. So let's go ahead and start with step 1. We've got to identify our customer's pain points. So as a business owner, no one knows your customer better than you do. So you should know your customer's pain points. And so you have to identify what you can offer to your ideal customer to motivate them to give up their email address. Now, let me give you an example. I have a clothing retailer, a client that's a retailer, and primarily her audience, her ideal customer is a woman in her 40s or 50s. And so she's always trying to get them to buy, get that add-on purchase, increase that average transaction value. So she said, I'm always trying to get these ladies to buy these gorgeous scarves we have in stock, but they always say, "Oh, I don't even know how to tie a scarf. I'd feel silly. Don't worry about that. I'll just buy the outfit today." So that ding, 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 that's a pain point for her ideal customer. They feel like they don't know how to tie a scarf. And as silly as that sounds, I mean, that's something that her customer base can relate to. So she created a 90-second video about, 5 or 6 different ways to tie a scarf. And that may not be applicable, that may not be motivational for your customer base, but it was for hers. It was a real pain point that she was able to address, and people loved it. So she was able to gather a lot of email addresses because people wanted to see her video on how to tie a scarf. As consumers, I read a statistic that we receive 142 emails in our inbox every single day. We're just getting bombarded with a lot of junk mail, and so we're becoming more and more protective of our email addresses. We don't just give them out to just anyone anymore. So these offers that you're putting together have to be, motivational enough that people are going to give up that email address. So if you're not comfortable doing a video, or you don't think a video address is a pain point, you can do your giveaways. And this is where you can do your giveaways. You can say, okay, click here, click my ad, and enter your email address to enter to win, a $100 gift card, or, whatever you want your giveaway to be. So if you're doing weekly giveaways, you just have to place ads now to be able to promote those. And the great thing is with your giveaways, I mean, acquiring likes on your page just isn't as important or as profitable as it once was for your business. So you really need to be getting something. I mean, if you're paying money for an ad, and if you are, paying money for what you're giving away, the most cost-effective thing for you to be able to do is to get an email address. Again, so you can, market to those people. Again, you can get them into your store, and you can promote your in-store events and that sort of thing down the line. So giveaways, that's the way you're going to need to do your giveaways going forward. And again, that's going to be probably, no, not probably, it's definitely going to be better for your bottom line. I mean, if you have an email address and you can get back in touch with people, that's so much more effective than just getting those likes on Facebook. The third value offer that you can give, and what I'm thinking would probably be really beneficial for your ideal customer, is a discount. So a lot of my retailers, they say, well, my margins, I can only do a 10 or 15% off discount. People on Facebook don't respond as well to a 10 or 15% off discount. So if you can offer 20% or more a discount, you're going to get a much better response than just a 10 or 15% off. Now, if your margins just don't allow that, you can even just do 20% off of one item, and we've still seen really great response rates to that. So if you do a discount, you say, click here, enter your email address, we'll email you your 20% off, gift certificate, that sort of thing. People respond really well to that type of promotion, especially on Facebook. You just got to make sure it's at least 20% for it to be effective for you to get a good conversion rate and get those people motivated to give up that email address. So after you've identified what you can offer of value, step 2 is to go out on Facebook and find your audience. Now, we know your ideal customer is on Facebook. The key is just to finding them, right? So Facebook allows you to target consumers based on behaviors. So you as a Facebook user have a profile, a behavioral profile. I have a behavioral profile. Everyone does. And so behavioral targeting is really one of the most powerful ways to target consumers that are likely to become your paying customers. And the way that Facebook, profiles each user is by working with data mining companies that collect information on us as Facebook users based on our past online purchases, our applications, and surveys we've completed online. So for us as consumers, as Facebook users, it's a little big brother. Okay, they're watching me, they know what I'm buying and what I'm saying on my surveys. But as a small business owner, I mean, this is huge for you. This is great for you because you can laser target only those people with the means and the motivation to buy from you. So you're not just peppering your message out there in the community. You're lasering in. You're only getting your message in front of those people that are most likely to come and buy from you. So one of my favorite pieces for retailers of the behavioral targeting category is buyer profiles. So Facebook profiles us based on, our habits of purchases. So the different buyer profiles include, and I'm just going to go through a few of them, DIYers, fashionistas, foodies, gadget enthusiasts, gamers, green living, healthy and fit, luxury brands and services, outdoor enthusiasts, shoppers, skiers, boaters, or golfers, spa enthusiasts, sportsmen, and trendy homemakers. So you know what your customer base looks like, and so you could probably fit your customer base into one of those profiles and say, okay, if a consumer out there fits this buyer profile, they would be my ideal customer. So that would be a great target for you. Now, as a clothing retailer, there's also a clothing behavioral targeting option, and you can target based on people that typically buy children's, men's, women's, or seasonal clothing. And for children's clothing, you can target only those people that typically buy children's apparel versus those that buy infant or toddler apparel. For women's clothing, you can target people that buy, business apparel, jewelry, plus sizes, women's shoes, young women's apparel, that sort of thing. So again, you're just laser targeting people that are already buying the types of things that you're selling, so you know that your message and your ad is going to be relevant to them. So the behavioral targeting is really powerful. Now, this second way for you to target your option, a lot of people are like, I never knew that I could do that. So you might know about this, but if you don't, it's a really great way for, again, you to laser target people who are most likely to become your paying customers. So more than likely, you have an email list of your customers. People sign up for your email list when they visit your store. What you can do is upload your email list to Facebook and create a custom audience. Well, you already have contact with those people, right? You can already email those people anytime you want. So we don't necessarily need to run an ad campaign to those people at this juncture for just the sake of, because the goal of this strategy is to increase your customer base, get new customers coming into your store. So you've already got email addresses of these folks that you're uploading to Facebook. So what we want to say is, Facebook, here's my existing customer base. Now go out and find other people on Facebook that look like my existing customers. So what you're doing is you're creating a lookalike audience. So what Facebook does is it takes those email addresses and it goes out and it matches the email addresses with the person's Facebook profile. And then Facebook looks at, okay, what are the behavioral, what's the behavioral profile of these people? What are their past purchases? What are their, their trends? What are their behaviors? That sort of thing. And then it goes out and it finds other, Facebook users that match that same persona, that match that same profile. So it returns a lookalike audience for you. So I had a customer in Iowa, and he owned a children's clothing boutique. And we uploaded his list of 1,200 customers, and Facebook was able to go out and find about 900 and something people that was able to match up those email addresses with about 900 and something profiles. Now, the email address I signed up that I would give you if I were shopping in your store is not the same email address associated with my Facebook profile. So Facebook can't find everybody. It can't find every single one of your customers out on Facebook, but it matches up about 70%. So after you create that lookalike audience, and we did this with my client, it returned 1.2 million people that looked like his existing customer base. But he didn't want to target all 1.2 million people in his lookalike audience because, people aren't going to drive from across the country to shop at a children's boutique. So we told Facebook, okay, we want to target this lookalike audience, but we only want to target people within a 25-mile radius because that's what he was comfortable with. So he was comfortable with people would drive within a 25-mile radius to come shop in his store. So that's a really powerful way, again, for you to target your audience. Now, I always get this, and Todd's asking this as well. He said, I protect my customers. I tell them that I'm not going to share their email addresses. How can I be sure that Facebook's not going to use this for their own, own benefit? I actually, and I'll tell you a little more about this in a minute, but I've had the opportunity to work directly with Facebook, and this is a concern of a lot of my retailers, and so I asked Facebook directly. I said, okay, we've said to our customers we don't sell or, share their email addresses with anyone. We've built trust with them. We don't want to violate them. And they said, we completely understand. And in our privacy policy and our terms of service, we outline and we detail, we don't use those email addresses for our own benefit. We only use those email addresses to build your custom audience and allow you to create a lookalike audience. So again, according to Facebook's privacy policy, and you can download that on their on the website, and their terms of service, it's included in both, and that they don't use those email addresses for their own purposes. So that's a good question, Todd. I'm glad you brought that up because sometimes I forget to mention it. So good question. So after we've created our audience, whether you use behavioral or interest-based, or you create a custom and lookalike audience, the next step in this process, in this 5-step strategy, is to create those high-impact ads. And this is where you get to be creative. This is kind of the fun part of this process. So a lot of people always ask me once I start this part of the presentation, they say, how do you know so much about Facebook? And the truth is, when I started my business 5 years ago, I started to teach myself how to use Facebook. There wasn't a lot of information. There wasn't a lot of training out there that showed me how to use Facebook. So I started to teach myself, and I got in a good rhythm, and I finally started to figure out kind of how the platform works. And then last year, you know, just about the time I think I have everything figured out, Facebook contacted me and said, okay, we see that you spend a lot of money on Facebook, and you also manage a lot of Facebook accounts for other small business owners. Would you be interested in doing a 30-day intensive with us so you can learn more about the platform and then teach, you know, other people about the platform? So I mean, I jumped at the chance. You know, you don't get that opportunity very often. So I had a 30-day intensive with Facebook where I got to work with engineers, developers, programmers, the sales and the marketing folks, and really learn the ins and outs of the platform and why things work the way that they do, and how, you know, how the pricing structure works with your ads, and how to really reduce your spend on Facebook. So really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I was so thankful to have. So, and in that training, Facebook has access, obviously, to thousands of retailers or business pages that are advertising on the platform, so they know what's converting best and what performs best. So they told me 3 things for us to focus on when we're creating our ads. So those 3 things to focus on when you're creating your Facebook ad image are, the acronym is EMC. So the first one is emotion. So Facebook said, you know, ad images that feature women with a really expressive look on their faces convert better than any other type of ad image. So if you have a woman in your ad that's really happy or sad or surprised or excited or, you know, whatever, just has a really expressive emotion, you're going to get more clicks than any other image you can include in your ad. The second is motion, and I've got an example of this up here on the screen. So when you look at this ad first, what do you first look at? You look at the girl on the right, right? So after you see the girl, what are your eyes, you know, automatically drawn to? You start looking at what she's looking at, right? You want to get people scanning your ad because, again, it's making them invest a little bit more time in looking at what you're putting out in the news feed. So what you want them to be looking at right here is your call to action. Click here to enter a giveaway. Click here to save 20%. Whatever your call to action is, that's what you want your subject to be looking at. So your ad image is what gets people to take a second look. And all we want them to do is to be scanning through their newsfeed, and we want our ad to pop. And another way that you get your ad to pop is the C in this acronym, which is color. So think about Facebook's colors, right? It's blue and white. You want your ad to pop out against that background, and the 3 highest converting colors according to Facebook are red, green, and orange. So you want colors that pop out so that when people are scrolling down your newsfeed, most often on their mobile device, you want that color to pop out. So again, use red, green, and orange in your ad image. So your ad image is what gets people to take a second look, and the copy is really what gets people to determine whether or not they click your ad. So again, the image and the copy are the two components of your Facebook ad. So after you create this high impact ad that gets a really high click-through rate, the next thing is, you know, we're getting people to click on our ads. The next thing is we got to capture that email address. And there are 2 things to focus on when you're creating this email collector form, and those 2 criteria are, you want your Facebook ad messaging to be congruent with what people see when they click on your ad. So this is an ad that I created for my client, Dr. Michaela Sarno. So in her ad, we said, are you ready for a change? So when folks clicked on the ad, they came to this landing page, and again, you get the same message reiterated. So people know they're in the right place. They don't think they clicked a link and they got, you know, that they're somewhere that they didn't mean to be. They're confident that they are, you know, in the right place. So you've got to make sure your messaging is congruent. Number 2, you only want to ask for 2 pieces of information at most: first name and email address. Most people are going to be filling out your email collector forms on their mobile devices, so you want it to be easy. The more info you ask for, the less likely people are going to be to convert to opt into your email list. So make it easy. You don't have to have first name. I personally, for my email list, I like to have first name so I can customize emails. You don't have to. You can just ask for email address if that's what you're more comfortable with. So after we've gotten the email address, again, so we don't have to depend on Facebook anymore. If they change the rules, not a big deal, because we can still get in touch with our customers through email. Step 5 is the follow-up, and this is the money step. This is the most important part of this whole process, because once we get people, we've got their email address, now we've got to start this nurturing process. And the reason the follow-up is so important is because I was a psychology and marketing major in college, and so I love the psychology of consumer behavior and sales and marketing. I love all of that. So 85% of consumers are not going to purchase the first time they walk into your store. And the reason is that you've got to break through a psychological barrier. They have a barrier of they want to feel comfortable before they're ready to purchase from you. So an example of that that's maybe a little bit easier to understand. I joined a gym not too long ago, and the first day that I went into the gym, I worked out on the elliptical machine because that's where I was comfortable. I knew what I was doing. I knew what buttons to push. I was good there. So I worked out there. Well, after a few days, I got comfortable. I knew kind of who was going to be at the gym when I was there. I knew what the layout was. I moved to the weight machines, again, because that was my second level of comfort. So then I worked out there for a few days. Then I moved to the free weights. And after I got comfortable there, then I said, okay, I'll go join a class. Well, that was all a psychological barrier that I had to work through. I wanted to know who was going to be around me. I wanted to know the layout of what was around me. I wanted to know the dynamic before I was ready to invest enough time into really interacting with people in a class and to investing more time, being in the gym. And people do the same thing. They have a psychological barrier. So when they come into your store, they're kind of just getting a feel for your vibe. They're just kind of getting a feel for what they're going to encounter, who's going to be around, what the layout is, what you offer, because they want to make sure they fit in. And they want to feel comfortable with your staff, with the quality of your products, with just the physical layout of what you've got going on in your store. There's a psychological barrier there. But you can break through that before people ever set foot inside your store through a really well-planned nurturing campaign, a follow-up campaign. And again, you're just, introducing yourself as a store owner. You're introducing your staff. You're making people feel comfortable so that when they come into your store, they don't feel like they're walking into a bunch of strangers. They feel like they already know what you're about. They already know your vibe, and they feel welcome and they feel wanted. And again, they've gotten individualized attention throughout this process. So I want to show you what this 5-step series looks like to your customer. So they're going to see your ad on Facebook, and they're going to click on it. Then they're going to come to a lead capture page or an email collector form where they're going to enter their email address and first name. Then when they enter that, they're going to automatically, instantly get whatever your offer was. So if that was the 20% discount, if that was a link to the video, or if that was, hey, you're entered to win the giveaway, that sort of thing, they're going to get that instantly. And then you're going to kick off your email autoresponder, and that's where the nurturing campaign starts. That's where you're starting to get people feeling comfortable with, your store, you as a business owner, your staff, your products, your location, all of that. Again, so people feel comfortable and they're ready to buy when they walk into your store. No more people just coming in to shop. I mean, they're ready to buy because you've nurtured them. You've given them the attention and the information they need to break through that psychological barrier and be ready to spend a little more time with you, ask questions, and pull out the wallet and actually start spending money. So that's what the 5-step strategy looks like for your customer. That's kind of the overview of that. So at this point, I hope the wheels are starting to turn and you're starting to see that, this strategy is made because you didn't have this strategy in place before. That's maybe why Facebook hasn't been as successful for you as it could be. This strategy means an increase. It means more new customers coming into your store. It means you have more time to focus on other areas of your business, probably areas of your business you enjoy more than marketing. And it means, again, more customers walking through your door, more sales, and it means no more guesswork. You're not having to say, okay, is this really effective? Is this radio ad? Is this print ad? Is this television ad? Is this really effective? Is it going to get in front of the right people, and is it going to bring new customers into my store? It takes all the guesswork out of that. So let me go back to that screen. So I know right now you've got a lot going on in your business, right? You wear a lot of hats. You don't have a lot of time to teach yourself how to do this and watch trends and figure out how to, implement what you might consider, somewhat advanced marketing strategies. And I know after the holidays, you probably don't have the, the mental bandwidth or the energy to figure out how to put all this into place by yourself. You operate a small business, and I know you don't want to sink a lot of cash into testing out ads, into testing out new strategies, and trying to figure this out all on your own. And more than that, right now you just need to focus on your inventory and your staff and your customers. And I know it's frustrating to try to learn something new. Trust me, I'm constantly learning new things, and I know sometimes it can be frustrated. frustrating. But the reality is that our market's changing, and it's becoming harder and more competitive to operate a retail store. And retail stores in communities across the country are closing, all the time, not because they don't offer great products or unbelievable service, but they're closing because they're focusing on the wrong thing. Instead of focusing on getting more people through their doors, they're focusing on their inventory or, making their stores look great. But the good news is, there's a solution to all of this, and I hope you're starting to see that the solution is just really being smart about how you're using Facebook and using Facebook more strategically. And I know right now you feel like you're stretched too thin, and the average retailer spends 20 hours a week on marketing alone. And I know you don't have time to be doing that. So a strategy like this automates all this. This is an automated marketing machine that's just running on autopilot for you. And I know right now you don't want to spend any more money on marketing because you probably tried other marketing techniques in the past, and you don't know what the return was. You literally don't know if your message got in front of the right people, and there was no tracking available for you to know who came in as a result of of your advertising. But with this strategy, you get to know exactly when someone sees your ad, who's seeing your ad, when they click on it, when they open your email. You get to know all of that. There's no more wondering or guessing. So, I know that cash is tight for every small business owner right now, and the beauty of this is it's not, a $1,600 radio ad or multiple thousands of dollars for a television ad. You can spend the $5 you've been spending every day on boosting posts, you can easily spend that on a more strategic Facebook ad campaign, again, that's nurturing people and getting them into your store. So I want to show you in this example, and I was talking to Jenny Mann earlier this week, and I said the example I use in my presentation is actually one from a store similar to yours. So this customer, this was back in November, and I need to update this slide, but we spent $10 over a 2-day period. You see that 2-day period, we spent $9.53. She was able to get 69 new email addresses added to her email list at 14 cents a piece. So what does that break down to? So say she spent $100 on her ad. She actually ended up spending more, and she was getting 14 cents in opt-in. That's 714 brand new prospective customers in a month. I mean, that's huge. That's a lot of new people learning about your store, and a lot of new people that now you can reach out to at any time to promote your events or your new arrivals, that sort of thing. Let's say 25% of those folks redeem their discount. You probably have a good idea of what the percentages of people that redeem your discounts, but let's just say for easy math, 25%. And your average transaction value is $50. Hers was actually $38, but I'm not a math whiz, so I wanted to make this as easy as possible for me. So that's 178 new transactions, $50 a pop. That's $8,900 in return on your investment from a $100 ad spend. So I mean, that's huge for you. If a radio ad person or a television ad rep could come in and tell you, hey, I know if you spend $100 with me, you can turn this into, a whole lot more. You can bring in, almost 200 new customers. You can get over 700 new emails on your email list. I mean, that is huge. And I mean, that's just in the first month. That's not, people, some people are just going to take a little bit longer to get into your store after they opt into your email list. That's just the immediate impact, but building on it over time is going to be hugely important to your business. So I want to show you a few people that have implemented this system. So this is Trista. She owns a gift store called Wit and Whimsy, and she started in October 2014, and last month her sales were up 37%. And I mean, she's not smarter than you. She doesn't, operate, have better products or whatever. She just is using Facebook in a more strategic way now. This is Eric. He owns a women's fitness and apparel company. He was able to spend $500 on ads. That may be above your threshold. He could do $500, and as a result of his advertising campaign, we were able to track back $23,000 in sales, again, because everything is trackable. Heather owned an online women's boutique, and I know that's not as applicable to you, but it was an e-commerce store, and in a 1-month period, she increased her revenue. You see from Google Analytics, her revenue number was up 75.5%. So again, I mean, very few other, advertising marketing methods really drive in that much additional revenue. And again, you're positive who you're getting in touch with, how how they're interacting with you, and when they're shopping with you. So that's hugely profitable for your store. For service providers, and I know you all are not, this is one of my clients, Dr. Michaela Sarno, and she was able to implement this strategy in her business, and she was able to triple her income from April to October. So, the strategy is, you're spending less on your marketing because you're spending it in a strategic way, and you're not just getting your message out in front of people that, may not become buying customers. You're only getting it out in front of those people, again, with the means and the motivation to buy from you. So this is a really, really strategic, profit-centered, strategy for you to start implementing. And I want to help you be able to implement this strategy in your business as well, and I want to take all of the guesswork out of it. So I've put together a 4-week strategy that walks you through literally every single step of putting together the 5-step strategy. Today in this hour together, I've told you what to do, but in my training, I show you how to do it. So in the first week, we talk about branding and offer creation. So you already have a strong sense of your brand in your store. Now we just have to translate that and bring it in, pull it into your marketing presence. And I show you how to figure out exactly what your ideal customer wants to hear from you and how to inject that into your message and how to convey that. In week 2, we talk about building your ads and your audience, and this is where a lot of people that are spending money on Facebook, this is where they're losing money because they're not creating high-impact ads that magnetize the right customers, and they don't have their ad copy on point. Your ad copy needs to answer 4 key questions to get customers clicking, and so in week 2, we talk about what those 4 questions are and how you can get them to click on, how you can get Facebook users to click on your ad. We also talk about in week 2 how to identify your ideal audience target. Again, we want to be laser targeting and getting our message only in front of those people that want to buy from us. And then in week 3, we talk about how to gather your brand new prospective customers. And we talk about creating, click by click, I show you how to create a high converting email collector form. I show you the #1 mistake that most retailers make when they are creating their email collector form. I show you 2 examples of email collector forms I've created for clients that converted well. And I show you the #1 tool that I use to create these high converting email collector forms, and it allows me to do it in 5 minutes or less. And I'm not a techie person, I'm not a programmer or a developer, so if I can do it in 5 minutes or less, I know that you can too. Then in week 4, again, everything kind of culminates in the follow-up. So in the follow-up stage, we talk about how to create an email series that breaks through the psychological barriers that are preventing Facebook users from becoming your paying customers. I actually give you swipe files, which means they're just Word documents that you can swipe from me, and just customize those to your brand so that they reflect your vibe, your voice, your products, and all of those things, so that you're engaging those prospective customers and turning them into buyers. Again, breaking through that psychological barrier. And we also talk about subject line and email copy pitfalls. If you're sending out a lot of emails and people are unsubscribing or they're not opening your emails, we talk about some best practices of what you should be doing with your subject lines and with your email copy to get people, to do what you want them to do. And what you want them to do is to, come in and shop with you. So in addition to the 4-week training course, I'm also offering several bonuses. So throughout your campaign, there are specific checkpoints of when you need to be saying, okay, is this converting well? Is this converting well? Am I getting high click-through rates? So in the Understanding Your Results module, I talk you through what you need to be watching for, like what the thresholds are for what does your click-through rate need to be? If it's lower than what, when do you need to know that you need to make some adjustments? So what that does is it just ensures that you're not losing any money. And I show you my shortcuts and best practices so that you're spending the least amount of time analyzing your ads because you know just what to look for. The second bonus module is Beyond Facebook, Pinterest for Retailers. So people that come to you from Facebook are more likely to buy from you. People that come to you from Pinterest will spend more money. Those are just kind of industry standards for retailers. So while Facebook is really, really important, it's also important to start thinking about Pinterest and how you're going to start using it for your business. So we talk about using Pinterest and kind of stacking Pinterest on top of this marketing machine that you've created for Facebook. The third bonus is lifetime access to the Retail Marketing Academy discussion forum, which is a closed Facebook group. So you're going to get lifetime access to this group where we really just support one another. We celebrate our wins. We talk about frustrations. It's just a really good place for you to come and to ask for input, not just on marketing, but on anything that's going on in your store. I also give you a promotional calendar. So, the strategy we've talked about today is great for getting new customers into your store, but once you have all those email addresses, you need to know how and when to start reaching out to people to promote your in-store events and that sort of thing. So that's what we do with the promotional calendar. Shows you when to send out emails. You also get a swipe file of my promotional emails that build excitement and build anticipation around your events. And you also get, and this isn't on the slide, but you also get updates for life. So if Facebook makes a change, if there are new features that are added to Ad Manager, if there are new best practices that come into play for email, I'm constantly updating this training so that you don't ever have to worry about buying another Facebook marketing training course, because this one's always going to be updated. And when I make an update to a module, you're automatically going to get an email that says, hey, week 2 has been updated, and we updated, Facebook added this new field that you can target now. Go back and review this module. So you don't have to go back through the whole training to figure out what changed. I tell you exactly where it is and what changed so that you can go back and review it at your leisure. And you get lifetime access to all of this. So say 3 months from now you want to go back and review, you can do that. The February course is a live course. We meet every Monday in February 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd at noon Central. And if you can't be there, if you need to be in your store working, I upload the day's lesson, the week's lesson, by 3 p.m. every Monday, so that you can go back, after work or the next morning or whenever. You can go back pretty close to when our session meets, and then access the supplemental materials, the worksheets, the PDF guides, the swipe files, and the video, the same day. So you don't feel like you're falling behind just because you missed that day's lesson. So, and again, you get lifetime access. If you have more than one, if you want to access your online learning portal where all of these are stored, and you also want someone else in your store to have access, you can let me know, and I can create separate logins and add everyone to our live training. So that's not a problem either. It's not just a one-seat deal. You can get it for multiple people within your store. So it's definitely a bonus as well. So I don't like this part of the presentation. Well, this part I do like. I'll tell you the part I don't like in a second. But I want to give you some testimonials from a few of my retailers that have worked through the program. This is Lisa from Ellen's Dress to Impress, and she said, I purchased the program in October, and I can vouch for the ease of going through the training. If you're hesitating about purchasing, do it. And she was talking to me. You've been so quick to respond to any of my questions. It is lifetime access. Thank you. Darla from Darla's Hallmark said, I see now that I've not been getting all I could have from Facebook. I did try Snap Retail, but there were terrible distribution problems, and then pricing went over the moon. And we're a small shop in a small town. We have a long-time solid relationship, but there's certainly a need for better marketing in these competitive times. Thank you for this invaluable training. Then we've got Dawn from Colin's Journey, and she said, we're a brand new gift shop that just opened this year. So many of the retail strategies being taught and provided today seem so old school. And we've been searching for more cutting-edge strategies to implement for our store. We found them in your training. You're down to earth, and the training was easy to follow. Thank you. This is the part that I don't like. So, and I don't use this coupon code. I need to give you another one. I updated the next slide, but I don't think I did this one. So the average cost of a program like this, I attend a lot of them again so I can stay up to date and I can update my clients. The average cost of a program, a 4-week program like this, is around the $2,000 mark. I know that that's not in your budget to be able to spend that kind of money on a training, and so my training is $497. But working with Jenny, and we had several of your retailers sign up for the program already. So we worked out a deal where I can offer you a group special, and if you use the coupon code Closet Mentor, you will get $200 off. So my average, when I do this webinar usually, and that's why you see that here, the average discount is $100, but because of the group discount, you are going to get the training system for $297. So to register for that, you're going to go to retailmarketingacademy.com/unleashed. So I'm going to chat that over to you. So you can go ahead and be checking it out, and everything we just went over with everything that's offered is in there. So I just sent that over to you, and again, you're going to go to retailmarketingacademy.com/unleashed, and you can look over again all of the modules, what we go over every week. And a couple of people are asking, hey, what if I can't be there? It's not a big deal. You definitely can recap the next week. So we've got it set up under Close Mentor, and I just chatted it over to you, the coupon code. So again, you're going to go to retailmarketingacademy.com/unleashed, and the coupon code is Close Mentor. And you can just type that in and get that discount. So once you go to the page, when you go to your cart, that's where you're going to type in the discount code to get your $200 off. So that's where you need to be doing that. Does anyone have any questions? If you've got any questions, I'm happy to go ahead and answer those. I've got a few people it looks like are typing away. Yes, if you for some reason missed the training for that Monday, you can go back by 3 p.m. I always try to have the training updated at 3 p.m. so that evening, if you have some time, you can review it then, and you can print out your PDFs and the swipe files and all that, and that sort of thing. So retailmarketingacademy.com/unleashed, and then I have another special offer. So if you enroll in the next 15 minutes, you're going to get a free one-on-one consultation with me. So we can talk about, where you are in the training. We can talk about for your specific store. We can talk about, whatever we need to talk about that will help you with this strategy. So, Jimmy's asking, so this starts on Monday. Yes, it starts on February the 2nd. So, so that is that. And a couple people are asking, is there anything else? Everything else in this system that I teach you, there are no additional expenses. I believe you all already have email marketing set up. I think that's what we talked to Jenny about the other day. So if you already have an email marketing system set up through Constant Contact or another provider, there are no additional costs. I show you, I get really frustrated. I have a lot of clients that say, man, I pay $14 for this service, and I have a $12 subscription here. Some people are paying for an online tool that they use to design, their Facebook ads or their cover photos or that sort of thing. I have some free tools that I like to share with you guys that I actually use personally in my business. So, and again, what I always like to point out too is that I use this strategy in my business, so I'm practicing what I preach. It's not just something I'm telling you to do. This is something that I use in my business. I've obviously implemented and my clients have implemented, so we know it's successful. We know it works. I actually had a girl call me that did my training last fall, and she said, she was on maternity leave, so she hadn't had a chance to start implementing things after she actually took the course. So she called me this week, and she said, she's in Alabama, and she said, I spent $12 on my Facebook ads and I got $136 in sales, in 2 days or something like that. So those are the stories I love to hear, and I know that this works, for a lot of different industries, but specifically for retail. So that's always good. So again, you're going to go to retailmarketingacademy.com/unleashed. Use coupon code CloseMentor to get your $200 discount, and that's really going to be beneficial to you. Nobody else gets that pricing, so you're the only ones that are getting in for the $297. So, and if you have any questions that you haven't already asked or I haven't already addressed, you can email me at sam@retailmarketingacademy.com, and I'll answer all your questions. Amy's asking, will I be sending out this presentation? Yes, you're going to be getting a recording of this presentation in just a bit. So you'll be getting that in just a little bit. So does anyone else have any questions? I'll be sending out not only the replay, but I'll also be sending out a link in case you have something else you need to do. I'll send out the link to the Unleashed program so you can sign up. And if you sign up by midnight tonight, and actually registration closes at midnight, the course starts on Monday. So registration closes at midnight tonight. So if you register, you're going to get $200 off, and you're also going to get, to enroll in the program, which starts in February. But again, if you enroll in the next 15 minutes by, I'll give you till 11:30. Everyone that enrolls by 11:30 will get the free one-on-one session with me. So I don't see any other questions. Does anyone else have any other questions for me? Don't see any coming through. Tracy's saying, so can I sign up multiple people to log on at different locations? Absolutely. So I have a few stores that have multiple locations, and they have kind of someone in each location that does their social media. So I have one sign up. I always recommend, as the store owner, for you to go through the training as well. I know you don't have a lot of time, but just so you know what's going on, and in case your staff changes at any point, I always recommend that you go ahead and go through the training. But then yes, you can add on additional users at no additional cost. So this isn't for one seat. You're not buying a seat. You're buying, a spot for your organization, so your store. So I can definitely add those. And to do that, after you sign up for the program, just email me, sam@retailmarketingacademy.com, and the information I need to get this set up for you, I need first name, last name, and email address for the additional logins you want created. So if you'll send me first name, last name, and email address for every additional person you want added to your, that you want to have an account, then they'll get a log on. They'll get an email from GoToWebinar with the links to access the live training, and they'll also get an email from me tomorrow morning, with information on how to access their online learning portal. So anyone else have any questions? I think I've answered everybody. I keep getting so many nice words. So many of you are being so kind, and I really appreciate that. But if anyone else has any questions that I didn't address, please email me, sam@retailmarketingacademy.com. I'll be sending this out shortly for you. So again, you've got to register by midnight tonight to get that $200 off and get in on the February course. So I'll leave the screen up for just a few more minutes so everyone can get logged in and get signed up. But again, if you have any questions, please email me. And Tracy said she's signing up right now. I saw Ronald signed up. I know there are a few people on the call that actually already registered, so I'm glad to have you guys back today. You're wonderful, and I really appreciate your kindness and your nice words. So how long are the training sessions, Jimmy said? They're an hour long. So we go from noon to 1 p.m. Central. And again, if for some reason you get pulled away or something like that, you're going to get access that afternoon to the replay. And then the replay, the video, is going to be in your learning portal for life, so you can go back at any time. So I think I got everyone's questions answered. So if you have anything else that I didn't get to, or that that you think of later on, just email me. And I hope you'll join us. We're going to have a lot of fun, go over a lot of information, but we keep it lively and we keep it fun. So thank you all again. I really appreciate it. Thanks to Jenny. I really appreciate the opportunity to present this to you guys today. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll get started on Monday.